Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Bedrock Guide. We are on our way over to the resource roulette game area because I hear we've got a drop-off waiting for us. We got 84 logs. Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you much, Prowl. Appreciate you. We're going to be putting these to good use at some point, maybe even today. Oh, I just love that you can see our house just poking over the top of this hillside, and actually behind me right now, Prowl is working on getting his house up and running, so you should be sure to check out his episode to see what kind of design he came up with for his starter house. All of our stuff is still laying out here on the back lawn, and I think that's the way it's going to be for the moment, because today we need to work on some interior design so that we can get some of these things moved inside and we can get situated and stop sleeping on the grass. But first, we are going to go find a river in this direction over here. I think that honestly might be an ocean. That might work. It'll work for one of the things that we're looking for. We need a little bit of black dye. And in order to get black dye, we're gonna need one of these guys. These are squid, and we just found 3 of them together. That's honestly not bad. Let's go ahead and, take a couple whacks at them. They spit out their black ink there, but we've also got ink sacs that have dropped for us. This mob is unfortunately not an edible food source if you're a fan of calamari. All you're gonna get from it is black ink, which is honestly a pretty great resource to have. You can dye all sorts of things from glass to leather armor to what we're gonna be doing today, dyeing some carpet. The sun is going down, but I'm not quite ready to leave yet because there is something right here that you may find on the ocean floor from time to time. We're gonna have to be careful of these guys. This is a drowned. They are a water form of zombies, and they might have one of these things, a trident. They're pretty dangerous in the water, so just be careful. But what we are here for right now is this. There's not really anything in here, but we're gonna go ahead and take it anyway. We should be relatively safe in the dark in the water, aside from the drown, because we're not gonna get any phantoms attacking from the sky. If you don't know what a phantom is, it is the greatest mob vote mistake in any Minecon in Minecon history. And I voted for it. So let me personally apologize to the entire Minecraft community for my grave mistake. Phantoms are a flying creature in Minecraft that spawn directly above you if you have not slept in 3 days. So early game, if you're kind of scared of phantoms, which you probably should be, they're pretty strong, they're pretty annoying, they swoop down on you and go and scare you. If you don't have any armor on, they're gonna make pretty quick work of you. So just make sure you're sleeping, and if you go on any mining trips, make sure you sleep when you get back. Phantoms do drop one item. They drop phantom membranes, which can be used to repair elytra later on in the game. We do not have an elytra right now, so that doesn't really affect us. So we're not really going to go looking after phantoms right now. We're going to try to sleep as many times as possible and keep those things out of the sky. We did happen to find an ocean, so now we're going to go hunting for a river. I know there's one back that direction, but I'm going to leave it alone because I know Prowl may be looking for the same resource that I am, so we're just going to go completely in the opposite direction so as not to dip into his potential supply. We're going to stay away from that guy. It's been a couple episodes since we last died. I'm honestly pretty proud of myself at this point. I know we joke about this a lot on the channel because I do tend to die from the most ridiculous ways. But you know what? That's just part of the Minecraft experience. If that's you, don't get discouraged. Just pick up your stuff off the ground, or if it's despawned by the time you get there, make some new stuff and keep going on. Just keep trying to practice and get better. PvP or PvE type stuff is not everybody's forte. Some people are great at redstone. Some people are great at building. Some people are great at dying. And that would be me. So I think if we go over here, we should be able to find a river biome. And in the river, we will be able to find the next resource we're looking for, which honestly is not squid, but we could find squid over here because squid spawn in oceans and in rivers. But this stuff right here, right there, that's what we're looking for. This, it kind of looks like sand, but it's a little bit more of a gray texture. This is clay, and it can be used to make a few different things, from bricks to clay pots. We may end up using them for both in today's episode. Ow! Trident, hello? Ground? Hello? I see you. Oh, I see you. There you are. Come here, buddy. That was close. See, what did I just tell you? We just got ourselves down to a half a heart. Ooh, that could have been easily very bad. So let's just kind of meander on over here. I'm probably going to regret this because there's probably a witch. So we're just going to go ahead and, you know, dismantle part of her house here. Sorry, I do apologize. So that we can jump up here and see what is in here. Oh, great. There's a cauldron and a crafting table. Ooh, and a clay pot. We're taking this. That is honestly one of the reasons why we went after clay. But now that we've got one, we can save that clay for something else or maybe craft up a few more. I think this witch hut is pretty well looted. We'll go ahead and leave the rest of the structure here for now. We don't want to dismantle the entire thing. But enough chatting and resource gathering. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of work to do in here, and we're going to start by digging out all of this grass. And then we're going to take some slabs and lay out a basic floor before we do any detailing to it. Now, one thing to note about slabs. You can place them on the bottom portion of a block or on the top portion of a block. If you place slabs on the bottom portion like this, you will be able to prevent mobs from spawning without any kind of lighting. Top slabs, however, do not have that same effect. Mobs are free to spawn anywhere on top slabs, just as if they were full blocks. The problem with bottom slabs is that you can't place things on top of them. Let's say that this piece of dirt is a crafting table and you try to place it on this bottom slab, it's going to leave a nice nasty gap in between the blocks and make this look like it's floating. So, you know, there's trade-offs, design choices. That's up to you. So this entire floor is going to be made out of birch slabs. And the reason we are using slabs instead of full blocks is that they stretch a lot farther in terms of getting more bang for your buck on your resources. I saw a lot of comments in the last couple of videos about, Blue Jay, you're wasting resources. We're not wasting them. It's fine. We're using what we have. We have what we need. So we're just going to utilize it all. But in this case, it's smart if you're low on resources, which honestly, birch, we're pretty low on birch. So this is a smart move for us. Using slabs instead of full blocks will make our resources go a lot farther. If you missed the last episode, be sure to go check it out because there's a lot of great tips on how to build the exterior of a house. But similar to these walls, we're going to do some texture variation on the floor. So in order to do that, we're just going to go at random. And again, less is more in this kind of situation. You don't want it to look like a giant checkerboard. You just want it to look like there's a little bit of discoloration in the floor. And maybe we can go over here and put a stair in the floor like this to make it look like maybe there's a piece of wood plank missing. This is not something that you want to overdo. Honestly, we're just going to put a few down and then call it a day. I want to leave this area clear because I've got some pretty special plans for it, which we'll actually go ahead and do right now. We have one of these cornflowers left in our inventory, and thankfully there are some more around that we can use for dyes. So let's say you're in a situation where you've got one flower left and there are no more in sight. Here's a great tip for you. Take your one flower and dig a hole in the ground, just like this, just a 1x1, and then plant that flower on the ground. Then grab a few pieces of bone meal and right click or use your respective button on your controller or mobile device and just click on it and you'll get a bunch of flowers. That's a lot for one piece of bone meal. And if you click it again, you'll get even more. And if you click it again, you'll get a few more. This is a great way to stockpile a bunch of flowers if you need them for things like dyes. In contrast, if you plant a flower directly on the surface, not in a 1x1 hole, you're gonna get far fewer flowers. That's terrible. I've got 3 inventory slots with 10 pieces of wool in it. We've got something special in mind for all 3. The first one we're gonna take and we're just gonna put in 5 in this slot right here and then 5 more in that slot. We are gonna get carpet. So we got 15 pieces of carpet out of 10 pieces of wool. Not too bad. Then we'll take our cornflowers that we just grew and put them in the crafting table and grab some blue dye. And we can put the dye and the 10 wool in the crafting table and get blue wool and repeat the same process to get 15 more carpet. And last but not least, we'll do the same thing with our ink sacs to get black dye, and we'll end up with 15 black carpet. I've got specific plans for this room and that room and some upstairs stuff, but we're gonna go ahead and put a rug in this massive common area. And I think we're gonna start right here with 3 pieces of white carpet and then one right here. Looks like a Tetris piece, totally fine. And then we'll go over 2 pieces of black just like that. And then we'll go 3 pieces of blue, 4 pieces of blue, 3 pieces of blue, a black here, and another piece of blue there. Last but not least, we need 1 piece of blue here, and we should be set to go. I wonder where we've seen this particular logo before. I can't remember. Now that we've got the most important thing out of the way, let's go ahead and start framing out some rooms here. We're basically just going to do the same thing we did on the exterior, but on the interior, and make sure that we've got some depth in our pillars. We are going to go in here and start laying out the groundwork for our kitchen area. And I honestly think that having some polished diorite looks like marble countertops. I'm shocked. It actually looks pretty good. And then we're going to run out and grab this cauldron that we found in the witch hut a little bit earlier. And I think maybe somewhere like here could be a good place to put it. Yeah, I think I like that. And we'll fill it with water, and we'll put a tripwire hook on this back wall to make it look like a kitchen sink. Absolutely love that. Then we're going to craft up 2 more items that will be used to smelt various things. The first one is going to be a smoker, so we're going to place 4 logs around in a diamond shape with a furnace in the middle, and that will give us our smoker. And then we're going to smelt up some regular stone into smooth stone. We need exactly 3 pieces of it. And then we'll take them and put them on the bottom of the crafting table with iron, and a furnace in the middle. This is a blast furnace. Honestly, I think right here next to this window could be a good spot. And we're going to use this smoker as our countertop microwave, which is appropriate because this is used only for cooking food. The great thing about a smoker is that it is similar to a furnace, but it will cook food twice as fast as a regular furnace will. Then over here in this spot, we can go ahead and put down our dishwasher, also known as a blast furnace. The reason this is the dishwasher is because it will smelt ores, metal armor, and tools. So let's pretend like we're putting our pickaxe, our shovel, our spoons. And it is similar to a furnace in that it can smelt things, but it's more similar to the smoker in that it is twice as fast as a regular furnace. So food or items, it's perfect for a kitchen. Then I thought maybe we could just go ahead and grab our standard furnace out here and toss it on in the kitchen as well, so that we've actually got a stove that can cook everything. And I think we'll go ahead and put that right here in the middle. Perfect, not bad for a little kitchen. And what does every good kitchen need? A trash can. This is going to be non-functional for the time being, so we may use it as storage, but this will be a functional trash can at some point in a future episode. We'll wire it up, we'll get some redstone going, and it will dispense all of our unwanted items into lava or onto the ground to despawn. Not sure yet. We'll figure it out. I made a few changes because I wasn't exactly happy with everything that was going on in here, so we rearranged. But all of the components are the same. We've got our stove, we've got our dishwasher next to our trash can. That makes a lot of sense. We've got our sink over here, we've got our microwave, and we actually used some polished diorite stairs for end caps on these countertops. Before, they looked like they were floating or just attached to the wall. Didn't look very sturdy, but I'm much happier with how this has turned out. The last thing we need to do in our kitchen is we're going to go ahead and put a back door right here. Now, this does go right into this pillar on the outside of our house, which I am totally fine with. And it is flush up against the wall, and normally I would not encourage you to do this kind of thing with a door, but since it is a back door, it kind of looks really cool. Leading into the kitchen, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's go ahead and dig this out. We'll grab a birch slab and throw it down right there and toss our door in place. And now we've got a great little secret back entrance. The reason why I wanted a back door here is because of that right there. If we're inside of our house working on stuff and I want to go out to the branch mine, all I got to do is run out the back door and jump down. We're ready to start working on our living room here, and the first thing I want to do before I do any furnishings in here is put down a staircase. So we're going to start it right here. So we got a little bit of room along the side wall. We're going to have to dig this pillar back out a little bit, but this will lead us up to our eventual second floor. So right here, we're going to put down a nice plush white couch. Man, we are just going crazy with the diorite today. And then the next thing that we're going to do is go over here to our furnace, toss in some coal, and toss in some of this clay that we collected earlier in order to get some bricks. Bricks are good because they will allow us to craft up some more flower pots, which we can place around the area, which let's go ahead and do that now. We've got one flower pot, and I think maybe right here. We've got one of our cornflowers here, and we're going to toss it into the flower pot like so, and wow, that just livens up the room so much. So much. Just one little flower brings a little bit of color, splash to the room, brings the whole area to life. The next thing we're going to put in our little living room here is a nice little furnace to keep us warm. During those cold nights, we just want to sit in here and relax and chill after a long day of mining and crafting. right on our nice cushy couch. Right over here, we're gonna have a little furnace, but this is gonna be a special furnace. This is an exclusive feature. I'm calling it a feature because I want it to be a feature in Bedrock Edition. It is called an XP furnace. Let me show you how to build this thing first, and then I'll explain how it works. First, we're gonna put a couple of chests right here to make a double chest on the ground underneath the floor. Then on top of that, we're gonna place one hopper, and then on top of that, we will place one furnace with a hopper on top of that. How this works is you put items into the hopper. You can place items directly into the furnace, but with a hopper, we've got 5 inventory slots. You could go as far as to put a double chest on top of here, but for our aesthetic, that's not gonna look very good, so we'll stick with the hopper for now. Items will feed into the furnace. When they feed into the furnace and they smelt, they will feed into this hopper and down into this chest. Because of a nice little, we'll call it a bug. I hope it's not gonna be a bug, but is gonna be a feature. Because of a nice little feature in Minecraft Bedrock Edition, when items funnel through all the way down to the double chest here, the XP is still stored in this furnace. So, whenever this thing fills up completely to where items stay in this output slot, whenever you grab them, it will collect the XP from the item you just grabbed and all of the XP from the previous items that have been smelted. Massive amounts of XP every single time you collect an item. The XP furnace is a little bit quirky, so if you take any items out of this chest after they have gone down into here, it will break the whole system and you'll have to start the entire thing over. So that's partially why we're putting it under the floor. Aside from the aesthetic, we just don't want to risk taking any items out so that our system breaks. I've crafted a few bricks, brick stairs, and brick walls. I'm not exactly sure if we're going to use all of them or not yet, but we're just going to kind of place a few blocks around our XP furnace here. I think one right there would be pretty good. Maybe one sideways here is good. And then maybe another one there is good. We got like a little fireplace mantle going on. And then maybe we can put one right here. And maybe we can place it down right here. And honestly, that's not too bad. And then we'll head on in here and maybe place one down right here. And then let's take our oak sapling and put it in like that. Oh, that looks very nice. And just so we don't have to continue going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, we're gonna take our crafting table. I saw this trick, I believe, on one of Waddle's videos recently. We're gonna take our crafting table and toss it down right there. We may end up putting one at the front door as well, but this kind of looks like a doormat. And so, if you have crafting tables at all of your doormats, you'll never wonder where your crafting tables are. I'm gonna craft up a few oak fences here, and then we need some carpet. So we're gonna place a fence down right here and a carpet on top of that. Nice little end table. Unfortunately, we can't put anything on top of this table because carpets sit above the block line there, above the hitbox. So maybe we'll just put another clay pot up here on the other side of the fireplace mantle. Maybe this time we'll grab a dandelion and throw it in the other clay pot. We've already got a blue flower and we've got an oak sapling. Just bring in a variety of colors into the build. Oh, this looks very nice. I can just see myself relaxing here on my couch, staring at the fireplace, getting warm, looking at the flowers. It's not exactly ideal, but we went ahead and put a lever down here. The reason for this lever is we want to have a way to shut this system off so that we don't constantly have items flowing through it. Again, this is non-functional, but we're gonna get it set up sometime fairly soon. So with the completion of our XP furnace and a few end tables and a kitchen table and chairs and a little decorative table down here, which again, we can't put anything on top of, it's fine. We'll add a few things to the wall here. I think we're gonna try to fill in some of the empty spaces on the walls, but that'll be towards the end of the episode. We are nearly done, but I've gone ahead and put together a second floor up here. Now, we've got a little bedroom here. I've poked out a hole in the side of the wall here for some windows, which we're gonna add some glass to. This room right here, we are not gonna touch today. I've got something very specific in mind for this room, and it's gonna wait for another episode. So there's only a few things that we're gonna put in this room. We're not gonna do much in here. It's gonna be very simple. I think we're gonna put a chest down right here, just for some personal storage. And then over here, we're gonna take one of these smokers that I showed you earlier down in the kitchen, and we're gonna put it in here backwards, just like this, because it looks like a nightstand. It can look like you got some drawers here, And I think that works really, really well. We are going to put some lighting on top of this, which I'll show you here in just a moment. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put an armor stand right here in the corner so that we can put our armor on this armor stand. Now, the armor that I have on right now is pretty beaten up, so we're just going to go ahead and hang it up and maybe just retire it for now. And I think that looks pretty good. Eventually, we're going to have multiple sets of armor, one for like going to the nether, one for going to the end, one for just general everyday use, one for boss battles, things like that. So we'll have multiple armor stands at some point to swap out armor with, but I think this looks good for now. There are a few minor decorative indoor things left to do, and I'm going to go ahead and do some of them off camera just because they don't really need explanation. So I'll show you what we've got, and then we will put the finishing touches on the interior together just in a few moments. It's getting pretty dark. It's dark outside, and it's dark inside. We need some lighting. It's a good thing that we are having our first Bedrock Guide live stream later tonight because we are almost out of iron. This is all that I have left, but I want to show you guys how to craft up some of these fancy lanterns, because that's what we're going to be using for the interior lighting of our house. So we're just going to find some random spots like right here to put some lighting. I think that looks great. Maybe we'll put one here in between the doorway. Maybe we'll have one back here sitting down on the shelf. I think that's fine. That's fine. And maybe for good measure, we can just slap one down on the floor right there. I think that could look very nice. Maybe we'll hang one right here between the windows so that it kind of lights up the table area while we're eating at night. And then I think under here would be a perfect place to have a light. And then maybe even back here have some hidden lighting. That's totally fine. We've got 3 lanterns left. And I think maybe we'll do something like this, something like that, have a couple in the room here, and then we're going to save the last one for the top of our smoker to place it right there on our nightstand. We're going to go in here with some sticks and some leather and grab a couple of item frames, and with some more sticks and some white wool, we're going to grab a couple of paintings, and I think we're just going to decorate the place up. I thought maybe it could be fun to come in here with one of our item frames and place down our map right here of our property. I think that could look pretty good. And then maybe over here in the kitchen, above the kitchen sink, we could put Prowl's map. I thought maybe we could utilize this wall for a painting of some sort. And a cool trick to get the size of painting that you want is you could go like this and place the painting right there, and you're always going to get a single block wide painting. Now, if we take this one out and we hit the painting and knock it out, we can place another one down and it will give us a 2 wide. Or if we just kind of leave it open space and we place it here, it will give us a 2 by 2. There are various size paintings that we can use, but I think for this area, a 1 block wide painting could look good. And we'll just cycle through and see what our options are, and then just stick with something that we like. Honestly, I like that one a lot. And last but not least, maybe we'll put a painting in our room here, and maybe we can have a 2 wide picture of a creeper. That's perfect, because creepers are always coming after us and blowing our stuff up. It's great that it would be in my room watching me while I'm sleeping. Let's just go ahead and test this out. Of course, I can't rest. There's monsters nearby. Oh, how appropriate, how appropriate. Then maybe to complete this room, I thought we could put in a little bit of a carpet. It'll probably just be something a little abstract, nothing too uniform. Yep, I think that looks great. That looks perfect. And with that, guys, we are completely done with the interior of our house. I'm so pleased with how this turned out, and we are actually at the end of the video. There will be no resource roulette for this video because Prowl and I just couldn't sync up schedules, had a busy week, but stay tuned for the next episode when we will be matching up again with Prowl. But be sure to leave a like before you click off this video. Be sure to comment in the comment section and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on Twitch tonight for our first Bedrock Guide live stream. It's gonna be great. Be sure to be there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.